Hi guys, I'm StarFall Cosplay and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be going over how I created our Punk Rarity Wig. This one was such a fun build to make and I'm really excited to show you guys how I tackled this project. First I started out with a Cain from Arda Wigs in the color Honey as well as two long clips. First, I sectioned everything off, did a little bit of cursory cutting and trimming on the sides where you would have the classic side shave, and then afterwards, everything was dunked in the dye. We used both green and purple, and the blonde parts were cut off in order to make the blonde blocking later on. As usual with using dyemore, you want to keep everything nice and warm, make sure everything is at a good steady temperature, that way your color comes out even. After that came a lot of sectioning, more trimming, and just figuring out where I wanted the color blocking to be. Once the color blocks were figured out, I had to go in and seam rip out all of the purple wefts that I didn't need anymore. This was actually really easy. Being dyemore won't dye natural fibers, I was able to find those threads and pull them out quite quickly. After that was replacing all the purple that I didn't need and using the other colors like the green and the blonde. This is the wig after all of our green. And then I just had to go in and do the blonde. That top tuft was the hardest. Depending on your wig shape, just follow the pattern of the original wefts and that'll get it going right away. Once all of our blonde was added in, I could finally start teasing and heat shaping this entire wig. All the parts of the technical mohawk area were fully teased, blended out, and shaped. It took a long time and I had to go back in many times over with the hairdryer and the got to be glued just to keep the shapes smooth and make sure they would lay correctly. A lot of this really was trial and error, just making sure I had the right shapes that I wanted to and working so that it would match my original references. Of course, as I was going, hairdryer, heat up the area, fold it into the new shape, add some got to be glued, and it would hold that little spike very nicely. Whenever I needed to clean up the tip of the spike, I would just spray as much as I needed to onto the edge and then just use my finger to smooth it out. And that was the same process I used on the other spikes as I went further back, making sure my color blocking would match the way that her mane looked in the episode. It took a lot, but it was so much fun and it felt so rewarding when everything was finished and I got to see the final look. Finally, all my spikes were done, and now I just needed to do a little bit of cursory trimming. The green tuft at the front especially was too long, so first I went in and I did a blunt cut, just a little bit down from where I needed it, and I followed that up with some chipping motions in order to get everything to look more naturally cut and look a little bit smoother. I don't normally cut wigs very often, so just getting this felt really strange. I ended up using my comb as a guide just to help me get the shape that I wanted to and make sure things would look nice and smooth as if it were growing out that way naturally. Of course, going in afterwards with the cutting, I needed to redo some of my got to be glued as well as some of the heat shaping just to get everything to smooth back into the little spiky shape. God, spikes are definitely the thing I don't like doing, but they looked so good when I was finished. And after that, just a little bit of cleanup, and off camera I did add some hairline pieces with some hot glue, and everything turned out wonderful. I am so happy with this build. I hope you guys like it too. And if you enjoyed this, please give us a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in our next video.